All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're unpacking a really powerful idea from Zarathustra, the modern Samson. Now, you might be thinking of the old story, but this is something else entirely. This is about a new kind of human, one forged in what's called living lightning and totally connected to the earth. So let's figure out what that actually means. So let's just start with this quote because, wow. It sets a powerful, almost unsettling stage, doesn't it? We're not talking about little life hacks or small improvements here. This is a journey into the terrifying and, yeah, awe-inspiring potential that Zarathustra believed is sleeping inside all of us. To really get our heads around this figure, we're going to follow his path. We'll break it down into 5 key stages of transformation, from a being totally burdened by the past to someone who actually becomes a source of brand new values. Okay, first things first, who is this modern Samson? What did Zarathustra actually see when he wasn't looking up at the gods, but was looking at what humanity could become? Here's the deal. He's not just some brainy philosopher, and he's not just a wild creature of instinct. He is a conscious, deliberate fusion of both. Think of it like this. You're taking the cold, clear logic of the stars, the celestial, and you're mixing it with that raw, ancient, thundering power of the earth, the chthonic, all inside one person. And this metaphor, it's just perfect. The modern Samson isn't the goal, okay? He is the rope. He's that dangerous, shaky, but totally necessary tightrope walk from what we are now to what we could be. He is the living embodiment of that struggle over the abyss. And here's what's so crucial. His focus is not on some prize in the afterlife. No way. He engages in what the Source calls a willing downgoing. He literally plunges himself into the earth, sacrificing who he is right now. He has to break apart, just like a seed, so that a future, higher way of being can grow right out of his own ruins. So, how does this transformation actually happen? Well, the Source lays out this fascinating spiritual journey that unfolds in 3 really distinct phases. The spirit starts out as a camel, then becomes a lion, and finally is reborn as a child. Each stage is a radical shift in your relationship with rules, with freedom, and with creativity itself. It's basically a roadmap for growing beyond just doing what you're told. So first up is the camel. Picture it. This is the spirit that kneels down and says, okay, pile it on. It carries the crushing weight of tradition, morality, all the great thou shalts of history. It's a spirit of endurance, for sure, but it's not a spirit of freedom.
But then, out in that lonely desert, something changes. The spirit transforms into a lion. And the lion's favorite word is no. It's a hunter. It seeks out old values and just shatters them, creating the space, the freedom, for something totally new. Its mantra isn't thou shalt, it's a roaring I will.
And after all the lion's destruction, you get the child. The child is innocence, a totally clean slate, a wheel that spins on its own. It doesn't have to fight the past, because for the child, everything is new. Its power is the sacred yes, a joyful, playful affirmation of life as a game, a beautiful dance of creation. So how do you actually make that final leap? The text describes this one single defining moment of transformation. It's an encounter with the very source of power itself. Our seeker goes on this journey to find the last of the lawgivers, this old wizard on the rock of eternity. But this meeting is not what you'd expect. There's no demand for a big sacrifice, no complicated ritual. The wizard asked for something much, much more profound. He asked only for his word. And get this, it's not a promise to obey, not at all. It's a declaration of self. It's the moment the seeker has to stand up and affirm his own power, his own will to exist, his own yes to everything that he is. And in that exact moment of self-affirmation, the living lightning comes down. But it doesn't destroy him. It's like it recognizes him. He swallows the storm, he pulls it inside himself, and he discovers that this huge external power tastes exactly like his own internal will. It's a second birth. So after this electrifying rebirth, what does this modern Samson actually look like? How is he so fundamentally different from the tragic heroes of the past? Well, the contrast with his namesake is just stark. The Samson from the old stories was blinded, a victim whose incredible power was ultimately reactive. But this modern Samson, he's a master of sight. His gaze is an active force, a weapon of truth that just burns away illusions. He absolutely refuses to be a victim. And this mastery comes from what's called sublimation. He takes all those old religious constraints, vows of denial, and he transforms them into active tools for mastering himself. He's not abstaining to please some distant god. He's doing it to forge his own raw instincts into a disciplined, world-shaping power. He rejects any promise of an afterlife to remain faithful to the earth, recognizing that his body is the only temple and this moment, right now, is the only eternity.
And this all leads us to his final, most critical role. So what is his purpose in a world that's lost its way, that's lost its traditional meaning?
The source describes him with this absolutely incredible phrase, the Roman Caesar with Christ's soul. Just think about that. It's the ultimate combination. He's got the conqueror's pride and worldly power, but it's all guided by a creator's spirit, by this deep wisdom. It's raw strength married to a life-affirming soul. In an age where all the old values have crumbled, he doesn't go searching for new ones. He creates them. He stares right into that void of meaning, and he answers it, not with fear or despair, but with a powerful act of creation. He transforms the chaos outside into a new order within himself. And in the end, that's what he is. He is the justification for life itself. He doesn't need to look to a god to light his way, because he has become his own sun. He illuminates the path for others, not with commandments, but just by the sheer force of his existence. So that leaves us with one last big question. In your own life, what would it actually mean to stop looking for an external light and instead to begin the difficult, maybe terrifying, but ultimately magnificent work of becoming your own sun?